The American Express Platinum changes are here, and I want to run over the details because it's actually even better than what I thought it would be. So yesterday we just published a video about the leaked changes that were supposedly coming, and today the changes are confirmed, and essentially all of the leaked changes are correct, but they're actually even a little better marginally than we expected. So let's quickly run over all of the benefits, and I'll give you my opinion on these changes and if I think it's worth it. So the annual fee on the Amex Consumer Platinum Card is $895, up $200 from the $695 annual fee. Now, the additional credits. There's a $300 Lululemon credit broken up as $75 per quarter. There's a $400 Resi credit broken up as $100 per quarter. There's the FHR credit going from $200 annually to $600 annually, broken up as two $300 semi-annual credits. The Uber Cash is the same. There's now an additional $120 of Uber One credit, basically paying for an Uber One membership. This actually makes a lot of sense because it did seem odd they were giving Uber credit without an Uber One membership. All of the old credits are still present. This was something that was a little unsure from various sources. Equinox is still there. Airline credit is still there. All the same things are still there. The streaming credit is actually now a little better. It is $25 per month as opposed to $20 per month. It includes like really useful services like YouTube Premium and a bunch of actually like really popular streaming services. All the lounge access stuff stays the same. But what's also interesting is there's now a $200 Oura Ring credit. There was some speculation about this, and then in the leaked changes, this wasn't there. And so I thought they had removed this credit. But actually, there is a $200 annual Oura Ring credit. Oura Ring, for those of you not familiar, it's like a smart health ring. The newest version of the ring at the base color costs $350. So if you buy the base newest version of the ring, it's going to cost you $150 out of pocket. The ring does have a subscription service attached to it for $6 a month, or I believe it's $60 annually, which is kind of most of the functionality of the ring. Unfortunately, this credit does not cover the subscription fee. It only covers the actual purchase of the ring. But for the Gen 3 Oura Ring, it is actually $199. So you can essentially just use your credit and buy the Gen 3 Oura Ring, which from my understanding is actually very similar to the Gen 4. I personally will probably just be buying the Gen 4 just because I've never owned one. I kind of want the newest one. But if you just want to use your credit, buy the Gen 3. You're basically paying no extra money for it. My prediction on this credit is that Oura Ring is literally just giving it to Amex for free because it's a really smart marketing move, because I'm sure their move is not to make money on the hardware as much. They want a bunch of wealthy people that have platinum cards, and they want to make money on the subscriptions. And the rings are kind of like not that useful without the subscription. So I think that's where it's working. It's kind of the coupon book model. I'm not complaining. It gives you like a free or very discounted Oura Ring. And so business platinum changes are pretty much very similar or ish. So there's the $600 FHR credit that was added to the Business Platinum. Previously, there was no FHR credit at all on the Business Platinum. There is the Dell credit as before, $150. Statement credit up front, spend $1,000 or spend $5,000, get $1,000 credit. Not that useful. There's the Adobe credit, $250 after spending $600. And basically all the other stuff is kind of the same on the Business Platinum. The main change is the multipliers, which you get 2x up to $2 million per year in spend on certain business categories, and then any purchases over $5,000. And then, of course, the addition of the credit, the FHR credit on the Business Platinum. Both the personal and the business card also have leading hotels of the world, Sterling status. Not too sure exactly yet how useful that is. That is an interesting addition, though. But so my take on this is that this is like now a like CSR killer, where the Platinum card, I was someone that liked the Platinum card before. I thought it was a good card, but it was very far off from being a keeper card, where it was something I would get for the bonus, maybe if I want Centurion Lounge access, maybe if there's like some specific use case I had. But it was not something that like for a lot of people I could just say like, yes, this pays for itself. Now on the consumer personal Platinum card, like I would just straight up say for a lot of use cases, it is a keeper card. The changes, right? You're getting a ridiculous amount of credits for an extra $200 in annual fee increase, which, like, this is really good. This is a big W from before. And so I find this, like, I'm just, like, in my head running through this, right? We still have the $200 airline credit, which I basically value at $200 because, right, it's not that hard to use if you know what you're doing. United Travel Bank, okay, things like that. I find it to be a very useful credit. the $600 in FHR, the fact, like I was talking about this today with a friend, where like it is essentially like doubled the amount of hotels bookable within the credit range. Where to get a hotel for $200 in FHR is like really difficult in most markets on the old credit. But now with the $300 semi-annual credit, like it is essentially just double the amount of hotels that I could just book without needing to like pay way over the amount to be able to use this credit. So this is like an absolute W in my book for people that like want to use FHR. In terms of like markets I recommend, I think like maybe some cheap places in Europe. The Middle East is a great place to use it. Southeast Asia, East Asia, other than like Japan is used, still pretty good to use it. I think like China's a great place to use it. Thailand's a great place to use it. Vietnam's a great place to use it. Indonesia, places like that. Any kind of like off-season places. Vegas is really good on the weekdays to use it, especially at 300 now. There's a lot of hotels in Vegas you can book for that 300 mark. So highly like this is a really nice change. And then I think like what's really interesting is that the part that I'm kind of getting at here that like it's even better than expected is that I had some concerns that some of the old credits would be going away, such as like the Equinox credit or just some of the other things. But no, like they're all still here for now at least, which is really nice to see because this is like just a huge win. The fact that they even increased the streaming credit amount just by a little bit, that's a really good change. And so like I think, and just the Aura Ring credit, like things like that, like yes, it's useless. Like it's not, I would never get the card for the Aura Ring credit, but like just the Resi credit and the FHR credit and all these things make the card really practical for people because if you're someone who's considering a Platinum card, you're probably staying at a couple nice hotels every year. And so like FHR would probably be something in your portfolio of something like your tool list, right? So it makes sense. The Resi credit, I just want to talk about this for a second. This is like a super practical credit. If you live in a market where there's Resi restaurants, yeah, they're kind of expensive, but it's a $100 credit per quarter. This is like really valuable. This is something I'm going to use and I'm going to like value a lot actually because there are times where it's like I will go to a restaurant and it's going to be like close to $100 and it's like this is something that now is helping me get really solid tangible value from the card. And I've made videos before talking about how I actually am not someone that hates the coupon book strategy when implemented right. And I think this refresh is a textbook example of how a coupon book can actually be beneficial to customers. I do not think Aura Ring is charging Amex very much, if anything at all, for that credit. But now Amex, because they have this customer base and they have this brand recognition, they're able to give this credit in a capacity to their customers for not much higher of an annual fee, and this is like a new credit. And Lululemon, probably something similar, right? I don't imagine Amex is paying much for this credit. Resi, little different because Amex, like, you know, has his own owns Resi, so it's a little different there. But the fact that we're able to get all these credits in this coupon book model, it actually works out if implemented right. And I think Amex is implementing it right here, where these are credits that are tangible enough and sizable enough in value, where, yes, I understand for a lot of people, it may not be something that you always want to use, but these are credits that you can't argue have substantial enough value to where if there is a use case, it's a real use case. And what I mean by this is like I've previously roasted things like the stupid like $5 DoorDash credits on some of the Chase cards where it's like order something like 3 times and get a $5 credit or like get a $5 once a month Instacart credit. And I'm like, this is stupid because it's defeating the entire purpose of the coupon book. Because the idea of the coupon book and why it's can be like synergetic for both like companies and customers is that these companies provide a credit that incentivizes the customer to then become a customer of that company by providing the credit. For example, I'm someone who would probably never buy an Aura Ring, but now I'm buying an Aura Ring because of this credit. And it works out for Aura Ring because they're acquiring a new customer. It works out for me because now I get to try this new product at a significantly discounted rate. And so I'm really liking this direction of where Amex is taking the Platinum card. And I think they understand that the credits they need to provide need to feel tangible enough to where it has a substantial enough value. What I'm really interested in seeing is how Chase responds to this. We've already kind of seen Chase preemptively respond to this, where they've made the edit credit instead of being like once a year, be twice a year. That is interesting to see, where they've increased the value of their credit on that side. And I would not be surprised in the slightest if they do some other change to the card to give extra benefits to customers. Because right now, the way I view the landscape between these two premium cards is I don't see how the Sapphire Reserve competes. I think if you're in the market for a really premium travel card and you're someone that's willing to like go through the hoops of jumping through coupon books, because both of the cards are effectively coupon books, that the value is sitting on the Amex Platinum much more. And this is not coming from someone who's like some Amex Platinum simp and always loved the card and said it was the best card ever. I actually had a lot of problems with it before and thought it was not a keeper card for a lot of people. But I think the state now is much more interesting. So yeah, like these are the new changes. They're confirmed. They're out. I am someone who is a much bigger fan of this card now. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below and if you're going to be getting this card. But I think overall, for a lot of people that are into premium travel credit cards, this is a big W, and it's an interesting shift. And I wonder how the market is going to change because of this. It's always good to see banks trying to be more and more competitive with each other. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.